she's very old. I want to say she's 89 now. She
Okay.
she is suffering from dementia,
Okay.
and we really don't have anybody to stay with her. Like spend and much. We don't have nobody to just stay with her throughout the day
Okay.
because I don't know what stages she are in dementia, but she has a tendency of just walking out the house and just walking anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she high functioning?
Yeah, she can be. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like the stressful part of it is just trying to find time to spend with your grandmother and trying to find other family members to do the same.
Correct. Correct. Because everybody has their own lives to live.
Sure.
Everybody has their own responsibilities. Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been feeling the stress with work and with family?
Oh man. I want to say for the past couple weeks now.
Okay. So it's
It
fairly
just
new
been
to you.
yeah. It just been dawning on me. It just been building up for the past couple of weeks.
Okay. What's worked for you in the past when you're dealing with this stress?
Talking about it. Just
Okay.
I have a friend that I text or I call or we just we meet up and we talk to each other and we just vent about our personal problems and how our day is going. That
Sure.
helps. Going to the gym, spending at least 2 hours there, getting a good workout in. It's very therapeutic to me. Working on my car, finding different stuff to fix or upgrade because I love cars. So doing stuff that I'm passionate about helps me feel better.
Okay. So it sounds like you're using your self-care pretty well.
Yes, yes. So those are some of the things that help me cope with stress.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Sounds like you got it nipped in the bud, almost. Um,
yeah,
what do you hope to get out of this?
um, just hopefully just finding some resources to maybe help my grandmother because, like I said, she's dealing with dementia and we don't have nobody to watch her 24 hours a day.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't even know how to start that process.
Okay.
And I'm concerned about it because there has been times where she failed and nobody knew. She was
Sure.
at the house by herself and she just failed.
Okay.
And luckily enough, the next door neighbor came over there to just visit randomly and they saw her on the floor.
Okay.
So things like that worry me.
Okay.
And me personally, I don't have the time to spend with her 24 hours a day because I'm in school, I work, and plus, I have an internship and I have my own life to live.
Right.
But I can do the best I can for her, but I just want her to get help.
Okay. So you're looking for resources to keep her safe.
Correct.
Okay. How about within your grandmother's community? Um, was she pretty active before the dementia started taking shape or
Yeah, she was pretty active. She used to, get up and do for herself. She don't have a license, so she can't drive at all.
okay.
She haven't had a license in years. So, cause she's like, she's 88 now. So, but she got around pretty good. It's just that now, she's still able to walk, but she's just very weak
Okay.
and very clumsy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was she ever active in church or anything like that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, she's been going to church for years. The only thing that could stop her from going to church is not having somebody to take her there.
Okay. And does she still attend to this day?
Yes. She
Okay.
still attends. One
Um,
uh one of her church members take her to church on Sundays.
okay. Have you thought about reaching out to that particular resource to see what they have available?
No, I haven't really thought about that.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
And another aspect to consider is I don't know if it's available in her community, but we have a program called Meals on Wheels, um, to where somebody delivers the meals to the house and they can actually lay eyes on the recipient, to make sure that she's, okay, she's safe.
Mhm.
Um, is that a possibility?
Th- That'll be great. That'll be great. I think that'll be very helpful towards her, and making sure that she's all right, and she's moving. Um, I have to research that. That is a good idea. I never thought about Meals on Reels.
The other possibility is she's on Medicare, I'm assuming,
Yes.
Medicaid, Medicare.
Hmm.
They also have an in-home healthcare program that, a nurse can go in periodically throughout the week and kind of help her out, once again, to lay eyes on the recipient just to make sure everything is safe. Is that a possibility?
That is a strong possibility, but my grandmother would have to be comfortable with this. It
Sure.
would have to be the same person. It has to be a repetitive thing because once you stick her to a schedule, she will be expecting the same thing. So it would have to be somebody that she's really comfortable with, and this idea will have to be introduced to her so she can get a good understanding of what's going on.
Right,
But
right.
that is a good
Because
idea,
we're not just talking about her safety, but we're also talking about her independence, right?
right?
Um, so we want to keep that going as much as possible.
Correct.
Um, have you thought of any other type of resources that could be available?
Um, I have spoke to some of my aunties, which is her daughters, about how they feel about the situation, and I spoke to my dad. Some of them want her to be in a nursing home, and some of them don't.
Sure.
But mm, I mean, what you just stated about home health, I think that's the best idea for her. That's the best solution for her because some of them are against her being in an assistant living nursing home or just uh they don't want her to leave the house. Some of them just don't want her to leave and be put
Right.
in a facility. So I think her being at home and having somebody do periodic visits on her would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she lives alone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She
Um,
currently yeah.
I think part of that home health, I don't know what it is in her community, but they also have this, not the CNAs, but the PCAs that come in and do kind of home service, whether it be cooking meals, doing laundry, doing some light housekeeping. Um, Usually that's the same person that does it, week to week. So, creating that connection and that trust is paramount in that particular situation. Um, that way, whoever goes in there learns what she's capable of and what she needs help with. Um, Ideally, we still want to maintain the self-determination, if that makes sense.
Right.
Do you know whether she has a preference on male or female?
Most likely female.
Female,
Yeah.
okay,
Most likely female. Yeah. She believes that uh especially if she don't know you. If you're a man, she won't want you taking care of her.
sure,
But a woman she would feel way more comfortable with.
okay. So, based on these resources that have been presented, um, how likely are you to start investigating these resources on a scale of 1 to 10?
A 10.
1 being least important, 10 being most.
10.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
And then with 10 being the highest, which is great, um, how soon would you likely to begin this process?
Once I, discuss it with her daughters and sons, because I don't have power over the situation. I will
Sure.
have to talk these ideas over amongst them, and
Okay.
once we come to an agreement, immediately right after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So would that be something that you could start, say, within the next week or so?
Next 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks? Okay. That's great.
Yeah, because she has a
Uh,
total of, I want to say, at least 7
oh, wow.
kids. Yeah, they all
Right.
grown. They all grown, but she has a lot of them. So
Right.
once they agree on one thing, yeah, then we can put this ideal into action.
Okay. That sounds great. Is there anything else that you feel comfortable sharing?
Mm, what are some strategies other than, what I named to help cope with stress? Like what other stuff I possibly could do to help cope with my stress, like at work? Because
So,
I feel relieved from the ideas that you gave me about my grandmother, but I will want you to make some type of recommendation about, other coping strategies I could do to help me with work.
okay. So, first and foremost, my role in this is not to give advice, right? Because I don't know what you're willing or what you're capable of doing. With that being said, it sounds like that there's some time management issues going on. Is that correct? Or if I'm not, please correct me.
Um, are you referring to work?
Yes.
Um, will work as far as like getting it done. It can be. It can be. You can consider time management, but when you consider one person, working with 10 people and you have like all these tasks you got to do for all these 10 different people, and plus you got to deal with your coworkers and their attitudes, and not having people to help you, that kind of ties in it too as well. So I
Okay.
would consider time management as well, but
So it also sounds like there's a communication aspect of this, right? Um, when it comes to other fellow workers, what can you control?
myself.
Okay. So how they respond or how they react is totally up to them. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. What's the difference between reacting and responding?
What's the difference between reacting and responding? Man, I never thought about it like reacting. I guess I can control how I react and how I respond.
So reacting is kind of an emotional, it's an emotional thing. So if somebody were to come up to you right now and punch you really hard in the arm, you're going to react, right?
Right.
But to respond, you're kind of taking everything in before you make a response. You kind of take a metaphorical step back and look at the total environment.
Okay.
Um, that's the difference between reacting and responding. Um, you're in an environment to where there's a constant need for attention, right?
Right.
Um, if it's not the residents of that facility that need your attention, it's always the coworkers. Hey, can you come help me? Can you help me do this?
Right. Right.
So you're constantly having to deal with communication. So the communication aspect when it comes to other coworkers is you have to be able to communicate with your coworker on what you need. But first, you need to figure out what you need.
Mhm.
That makes sense?
Right.
So, how would you effectively communicate to a coworker that you need help?
I usually just ask. I
Okay.
ask them, can they help me do something? Or, if I find myself struggling with a task, or if I need a set of second hands, I would just, ask somebody that I see on the floor, can you
Okay.
help me do this?
Now, are you guys normally shorthanded?
We can be, yeah. If
Okay.
we're, yeah, yeah,
So that kind of
yeah.
adds to the stress aspect of it, right?
It does. It definitely
Okay.
does. If you're shorthanded, that day you would definitely have more than 10 patients to deal with.
Okay. So at this time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you appeared to be a person that adapts very easily.
I can.
Okay. You struggle with it at times?
Um, Not really.
Okay.
The only time I may struggle with it if I haven't adopted it yet, but not really, no.
Okay. So when you get to work, you kind of get these 10 clients that you're working with, right? And you kind of have a daily routine. That
Mhm.
is that correct? Or
Correct, yeah.
okay. So the time management aspect of it is you're going to start with the most challenging, or some people start with the most challenging task first to kind of get that done and over with, right? And then you kind of move down the list to what's easier. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Um, Now, me personally, I haven't worked as a CNA since I was, back in the 1800s. Um, so it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But I do recall, when you first get there, you kind of have a list of showers that you have to do, right? Um, and you have those people that you do showers, they're ambulatory, but most of them had to be assisted to the shower and so forth and so on. What does that routine look for you when you start on a typical day? What does that look like?
Like, if I have to do showers on a yeah, if I have to do showers on a particular day, I look at the list, I see who I have. Based on who I have, I narrow it down to who's the easiest, who's the hardest based on their mobility.
Okay.
And some of these patients, they are totally dependent upon you to put them in a shower chair and shower them on your own with no
Sure.
help. So um I base that on that mobility.
Okay. Do you start with the easiest or the most difficult first?
Mm. I would say the most difficult first. Yeah,
Okay.
I would go ahead and get them out of the way if I can.
Okay. And that's
Yeah.
usually successful for you?
Yes, yes, because I will. Yeah, it is. It depends on if somebody's in there before me, it slows things down
Sure.
because it's only two shower rooms, and it may be about five of us on the floor. The
Okay.
five of us has 10, 10 patients each.
That's
So
a lot for one person,
yeah,
especially when you're doing showers and having to change beds and stuff like that.
right.
Okay. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this. I've been doing this while I'm in school. This is what, I've been doing part-time or full-time. So I've been doing this going on 6 or 7 years now.
Okay. So this sounds like a stress that didn't just start within the last 2 weeks, but it's an ongoing thing over the last 6 years.
Yes, with that type of work. Yeah.
Okay. And how have you managed with the stress before?
Um,
I mean, 6 years is a long time to kind of, deal with that
yeah,
amount of stress.
yeah, it is. It is. Man, sometimes I just stay focused and determined, and like I said, I just talk to my personal friend, or I just you know do different hobbies that help bring me peace.
Sure.
Yeah, I think what it was, working at this new facility added more stress because this facility I particularly don't like, because they always short on staff, and they known to be short on staff. So that's what it is. I just started there not too long ago, and I'm
Okay.
kind of skeptical about leaving.
So do you think that that adds to the stress, knowing you already have this, forgive the way I put this negative attitude about it? They're
Yeah, yeah, it does. Cause yeah, I believe if you have like a negative aspect about something, then your feelings gonna tie into that.
okay,
Yeah.
good. Um, what are your options?
As far as staying there, or
Sure.
I mean, I can continue staying there and manage manage my time well, and um just control what I do, and just have a more positive mindset about working there.
So speaking of that positive mindset, um, what are five negative things about this job?
Oh, very short on staff. Um, well, they are low on supplies. Let me see, that's two. Um, hmm, not as not the facility is not that very clean. It's not really clean at all. Um, I only can name three. Those are the important ones that I consider. Those are the important ones that changed my perspective about that place. That's the reason
Okay.
why I have a negative aspect about that place.
Okay. Now tell me five positive things.
Um, Five positive things is that we provide. This facility provides care to people who cannot take care of themselves. That's number one. That's very important. Number two, it provides jobs to people who wants to take care of older people, or people who are struggling to take care of their needs. Number three, it pays well. Number four, you can get overtime because it's not a lot of staff working there, so they willing to give you overtime how much you want of it. Um, I want to say that's about it. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, that's about it.
So you had a difficulty trying to come up with five negative things. Short staff, not a clean facility, and they're not always up to par when it comes to supplies. But you can
Right,
name five positive things really easy, right?
right.
So maybe you just provided your own answer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, looking at the bigger picture, it's a they they do a great job of helping people. They need help, and that's what healthcare is. Helping people that are in need.
Okay. Is there anything else that we didn't talk about?
No, no. I think stress was the only thing that was on my mind that I wanted to talk about.
Okay. Good. And how do you feel now?
I feel a lot better thinking about it now. I think you help me guide myself to realizing some things, and I have some research that I need to do on my own.
Um, just do you have a help hotline there in Florida?
I believe so.
Okay. Maybe that could be one resource to kind of help provide any additional resources that I'm unaware of there in that community.
Okay, that'll be helpful.
Okay. Let me, oops.